Social media has undeniably become a major aspect of our daily lives, and especially in our own human expression. Be it just to converse, for humor, or to make statements and to share art pieces, these platforms give random people the opportunity to be heard by dozens, for better or for worse. I would wager Instagram is a platform that most often gets used for those first two things. The humorous side, especially on Reels, is a pretty notoriously large part of the platform. While all kinds of content can be found on there, one trend amongst these humorous posts is absurdism, jokes that are downright illogical or that might not even be jokes at all. This even extends to posts made in all seriousness, becoming part of the shitpost culture on the site. This fact made it so difficult to decipher the reels of one account that my friend had sent me, called HCFWER_Model Test1_RP. The account follows a format I've seen before on Instagram, which is using bait and switch tactics on popular reels. However, unlike its contemporaries, which will cut to something for cheap shock value or just for a quicker punchline, these videos cut to long, droning sections of seemingly AI-generated content, or at least partially AI-generated. Regardless of if it was or wasn't, it still had that surreal feeling that earlier AI works had, and it really felt like there had to be something going on. Rather than explain it, I think it's best to just showcase what I mean, by showing you some of the reels. But first, for a bit of context, I'm only going to show you some of the surreal videos on this account. The way the account operates is by playing these after playing a bit of a pre-existing, usually popular, humorous clip. The account will tend to post a lot of the clips that all end in the same of its own original content for some time before moving on to something else. What I've gathered is only 4 examples, 2 of which are slight variations. By the time this is posted, I'm sure there will be dozens more that the account has made. I also don't expect this to be a completely thorough deep dive. I do want to give as much explanation as I can, but there's probably going to be things I miss. More than anything, I just wanted to shine a light on this account, because I've seen very little discussion around it, especially on YouTube. If there's anything you find that I missed, or that you might find important, please do share in the comments. Let's get into it.
What happened to everything? I think they told them to forget.
Our first video is probably one of the more interesting ones, thanks in part to the dialogue that accompanies it. It's the one that also introduced me to this rabbit hole in the first place. It starts with a video of a woman outside what appears to be a parking lot or street side of some kind of building. Between her slightly off appearance and the downright illogical structure of the cars in the building, it's pretty easy to assume this might be in some way AI generated, like a lot of the other content on this channel. The woman has a lot to say, and it becomes difficult to understand what she's actually saying later in the video due to other sound effects. I transcribed it to the best of my abilities, but if you want to watch the video for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description to a compilation of the clips I've used to this video. Other than the lady, there isn't too much more to this video that's particularly interesting. There's a lot of footage of web pages, of equipment, and of clothing. A lot of imagery, which tends to be a running theme of this Instagram account. While the woman's appearance, combined with what she says about people forgetting, does create a sort of unsettling and forlorn atmosphere, that's about all I have to say on this clip. Considering it a blessing I stopped the audio where I did. That train horn gets really loud. Audio warning if you're gonna go watch the whole video for yourself. I know I'm probably gonna say something similar for all of these clips, but something about this one really puts me on edge. The lady sitting in the hospital bed, the titular patient, who might also be the same lady from the past video, something about her, combined with the weird narrowness of the whole hallway and the way she just stares back, it's just pretty off-putting. This version of the video, also with a loud horn, really gets under my skin. But there's a different version that I'm going to talk about just after this, which is also strange and off-putting in its own way. Outside of the lady I was talking about, there seems to be sometimes a weird machine above her, and the hallway she's in kind of shrinks even further. Again, part of me wants to call AI, though I don't want to just make that accusation to everything, but it does seem like some strange sort of image transformation. Some other highlights include a lot of weird, almost UI elements that appear on the screen, like a text box, these wires that seem to have water pouring out of them, and a pair of sweatpants with the words Search Engine Optimization written on them. It seems weird, and again, I don't want to just say AI to everything, but something about using such a cold, computer-related term on a pair of clothing, it just felt like it was something that a computer would make up. not helped by the weird blurring and smearing of the videos itself. The video also ends with a really weird shot, seemingly from the perspective of the patient in the hospital bed, and size information for clothing. That's about this for this video, but I mentioned earlier there's another variant of this video, which we're going to get into now. Now, like I said, this version of the video is just a different version of the last video, so there isn't too much that's different. The only main differences I really notice, outside of just some small details like increased imagery at the start of the video, is that the patient themselves has a black sensor bar over their face, completely blocking you from being able to see them, and there's no more loud train horn and no beeping like a heart monitor, which was present in the last video. Otherwise, the video is mostly the same. I mainly wanted to mention it for two reasons. The first simply just being that it has a different atmosphere from the last video. It's still unnerving, but in a slightly different way, a lot more understated now. But secondly, this also does show that the videos have slight variants that might show up. If this is important or not, it really remains to be seen, but it shows you that even the same idea can be done differently. It raises some more questions about the nature of the account itself. Not only is its original content hidden behind the sort of bait and switch tactics, but it might even include variants that at a first glance are basically the same as something it's posted before, but are in fact two distinct videos. And now we reach our last video, the one I started this video off with, and the one that is the most recent on this account, though I'm sure by now even this video is probably buried under a dozen more posts. This one probably is going to have the least to talk about, just because it's probably the most abstract of all of them. That said, something about it does really get under my skin, even more than the others do. The main things I've highlighted are, as I titled it, bleeding lights. I say bleeding because these are lights that have some sort of weird liquid seeping out of them. The whole video seems weirdly focused on light structures. There's one part where a light bulb seemingly grows strange tendril-like wires with just a really disgusting and off-putting crackling sound. It just feels like organic in all the wrong ways and just ugh, I don't like it. The video also features a lot of text in a foreign language, and it stars this strange little creature that almost resembles a spider. The creature has appeared in some other videos as a sort of symbol, so I take it might be some kind of logo for HCFWER or something related to it. These are only a small taste of the videos that this account constantly uploads. By the time I've sent this video out, I'm sure there's going to be a dozen more. I've already seen a few in the process of making this video. But what does this all really mean? Well, it's hard to say for sure, but I can give my own 2 cents on it. Now, let me just preface this by saying I'm not exactly an internet investigation type. I really wanted to make this more just to catalog this strange account and shed some awareness about it. This is just going to be me compiling my own scant research I've done about it and some thoughts on the subject matter. That said, I think I do come to a decent conclusion, all things considered. Now, the first thing when I came across this account were 3 thoughts in my head. It's either some kind of ARG, just some kind of hyper-absurd shitposting in line with the strange stuff you already see on Insta, or something kind of stranger, like maybe a genuine rogue AI. There wasn't really enough of a through line between all the videos for me to really consider the first option, though there were enough themes that I kind of had it in the back of my head. I couldn't really find a place where the audience could engage as players to the ARG, so if it would be anything, it would probably just be closer to some kind of web series. Now, as for a shitpost, I mean, I wouldn't entirely put it past it, but it just seemed too out there, really. There's some strange things, some comedic things, but usually something like this, if it's shared around as being funny, it's usually not made with the intent to be funny. There's something deeper going on here. And well, I think with the dedication seen in the account, I really would have a hard time believing this is just a joke. The last option just felt too out there. I mean, a rogue AI, some kind of weird government operation, definitely couldn't be something like that, but I mean, I couldn't exactly write the possibility off either. I didn't think I was going to uncover some kind of crazy conspiracy theory, but without a clear answer, it kind of lingered in my mind. Regardless, everything in the account was all just pointing towards something. I couldn't pinpoint what it was, but there was too much going on for there not to be some kind of connective tissue to everything. A lot of it had themes of advertising, and well, I guess that was sort of the right direction. Searching the account up, the first few leads I got were Reddit posts talking about the account. The first mentioned the title, Harbin Center for Western Economic Research, which fits the HCFWER in our account name perfectly. This post also linked to not just the original Model Test 1 account, but a second Model Test 2 account, with pretty similar posting, something I had missed in my research. This second, much older account is based out of the United States and was made in January 2015. Another Reddit post mentioned a YouTube compilation of the videos, containing some more surreal videos that I'd missed in my own cursory glance at the profile. A commenter asking for more context prompted the original poster to write this reply in the comments.
TLDR, a compilation of videos made by a Chinese intelligence agency in collaboration with Kyrgyzstan's SCNS-KR to explore the effects caused by brain rot content merged with the underlying political messaging. It can be a counterintelligence tactic deployed by the CIA/FBI too.
He then shares 2 messages allegedly found on the publications of the author. I won't read them here, and one is in Chinese, but I'll put them up on screen if you guys want to read them. Well, this does line up with what little a description Google showed me from a now deleted Instagram post. It does seem like it's kind of out there. Further replies mention a website and a Telegram chat as well, and they seem to suggest that the account in some way had some relation to a clothing store, which would probably explain some of the clothes seen in the videos. All this posting may potentially have just been advertising for a brand. Before I could find any of these myself, I found one more Instagram post discussing the account and specifically looking into it. One comment in particular stuck out to me and gave some more details, though I'm not sure how true they were.
I did some research, and they had many accounts, but these accounts were used accounts. I think they hacked them. I also stumbled upon Gore, where someone carved their logo into his foot, but there's even more.
I couldn't find any particular evidence that the accounts were hacked, but given the 2 existing accounts had 6 and 3 username changes respectively and were made at wildly different times, both allegedly out of different countries, I can't exactly write it off either. But what about that website and that Telegram chat? Well, it was a little hard for me to find that at first, until I looked into what is probably the place you probably should have looked first. The accounts. The descriptions of both of the model test accounts add another account. HCFWER. And well, yeah, everything seems to check out. You scroll down the account and it seems to be advertising clothing. The clothes also seem to have an aesthetic very in line with the videos. There's even a coffee mug and a wallet. There's also a hat, but some of them, including this hat, seem to kinda not be real. They seem more like Photoshop mock-ups. Whether that is just an actual mock-up or part of some weird art aesthetic, it remains to be seen. And there's the website, complete with a strange aesthetic as you'd expect, the little logo, and even all sorts of things on sale. More than just clothing, though, I'd hazard to guess some of the stuff might not be real. Seems like there's some fake sold-out sections that are, again, there for the aesthetic. The top of the page even displays some information about your computer. And apparently the website has free shipping over $100, so congrats to anyone who wants that. Wait, so am I just inadvertently giving them free advertising by doing this? There is one more thing I want to leave with. Something I noticed at the very start of the original account. Something that ties up one last loose end, but that also just leads to more questions. This post. I'm only going to show the first image, but it's a 4-image post in total, and you have to take my word on it that includes the gory image of the logo carved in the man's foot. It's not the most graphic, but I'd rather not take a chance with YouTube. 2 of the images also seem to imply it's a video, as there's a pause button and general video overlay. Perhaps more to the rabbit hole? Is there some kind of lost media search for this video now? I don't know. For me, I at least got my answers about this account. Like I said, my intention here is more to draw attention to this account, and well, I got an answer for what it's about, and I think I've drawn attention considering the fact that you're watching this now. So if you're curious if there's anything deeper, I'll include my resources and links to the accounts in the description below. But for me, this is where I get off. That was a terrible impression.